Welcome to flight number 2 in my series on Louisiana rums. Again, this is something I'm making to benefit. To show off the series of producers that are making rum down there, but also to hopefully benefit folks down there who are recovering from Hurricane Ida. I'm going to include a link down there to the Mutual Aid Response Network. And if you enjoy this channel, you can like and subscribe and all that stuff, but, consider giving a few bucks to those people, to the folks who are trying to recover down there. This video is for them as much as for the celebration of Louisiana rums. Now, I already did 5 of these things in my first flight. I will link them up down below. And I was extremely impressed at the overall quality. So we're going to now do the remaining 4. I won't repeat myself, so we'll kind of get right into it. Again, the basic story is my friend Gleam from the Aficionados Discord server was sending these things around, Louisiana-based rums, to kind of, promote recovery efforts down there. And I am happy to assist in that project to the extent that, folks out there are watching and paying attention. So we're going to do a review of these 4 rums in order. 2 molasses-based, 2 cane juice-based, and let's see what happens. All right. Again, I've determined the order totally randomly. We're going to start with this Atelier Vie Calio Rum. This is molasses-based. It is also pot-distilled, which is kind of fun. Bottled at 45% alcohol, which is pretty promising. And the distillery is based in New Orleans. No coloring and flavoring, no filtration. Well, no excessive filtration anyways. All right. On the nose. Splash a little on my hand. So immediately I'm getting some sweeter citrus notes. I'm getting citron. I'm getting Mayer lemon. A little lime in there. There's there's a lot of minerality actually. There's some rock dust. There's some just kind of wet stones. More than a little flowers mingled in with the rocks. This is something I've talked about before. There's a way in which mineral notes can sometimes intersect with floral notes, and that's kind of what's going on here. It's a quiet nose. A little bit of fennel. It's very clean. The emphasis is on the minerality and those sort of citrus peel kinds of notes. And that's most of what I'm getting on the nose. Aside from just a generalized, maybe like a little bit of a clover honey kind of effect on the palate. Also very nice. So the form of this rum is kind of what I want to talk about first. It's the arrival is very soft, and it kind of blossoms in the middle of my mouth. It's not a huge finish by any means. It's a little bit shallow. It's a little bit caught off after my molars, and it doesn't hang on for very long. But it's very pleasant. It's kind of this. It's a mix of honey notes and also some nice dry, white peppery, ashy kinds of notes. Very slow arrival compared to the others that I reviewed last time. Yeah, we're getting lots of honeys, different honeys. Cane syrup. We're bringing in the Steens again. Little Steens cane syrup. Oh, I just lost a bottle cap. Oh well. So, clover honey, wildflower honey, citrus blossom honey, like an orange blossom honey. A little bit of a there's a little bit of a cinnamon spice kind of honey going on. What is that? Yeah, it indicates a kind of cinnamony note mixed in there. Cinnamon stick really more like, but mixed in with the honey. Very soft, very, I mean, smooth, not in a bad way, but smooth. I feel like this is something, I mean, pot distilled, but I am guessing this was actually distilled to a reasonably high strength. There's a little minerality in there, a little flintiness, but it's not not as excessive as on the nose. Not that the nose was excessive. I'm sorry, wrong word. Pronounced. Not as pronounced as on the nose. So really on the palate, we're getting flintiness, honeys, and just a general niceness. In some ways, that the character of this reminds me of some high-end Scotch blends. You know, like 15-year-old Scotch blends, that kind of thing. It's very drinkable, and you could tell the quality is high, but you can also tell it's meant to be, you know, it's not meant to be in your face, and it's not meant to challenge you. That's kind of what I'm getting on this. Pretty good, pretty good. I'm going to give this a squirt of water, and we'll come back to it a little bit later. Bottled at 45% again. All right. Now again, in my random determination of the orders, I did make sure to keep the distilleries that had multiple entries. I made sure to keep their entries together so I could compare and contrast them. All right. So this is from 3 Roll Distillery, and I believe 3 Roll is actually in, well, it's somewhere in Louisiana, obviously. Baton Rouge. Sorry, I was thinking New Orleans, but at Baton Rouge. So this first one is their Agricole. The next one after this is their Brazilian style, and I think the difference is in the yeast. Both cane juice based. So this is 45% alcohol by volume. I'm not sure what still they're using, but we'll see how it goes. On the nose, 3 Roll Agricole. The 3 Roll, I guess, is from the 3 metal rollers that they use to crush the cane, which is kind of cool. Okay, we're getting some cane juice notes, so that's good. Little grapefruit, little plastic, kind of fresh action figure note. Smoky, so you set your fresh action figure on fire, if that makes sense. A little pickle juice. Fennel again. A little seawater. Interesting, and a touch of, what is that? Something floral. Almost a rosewater kind of note, actually. Interesting. I mentioned in the last video that the sense of terroir I was getting from these Louisiana rums. First of all, I'm so happy that I'm getting a sense of terroir from these things. But the sense of terroir they were providing was something like halfway in between, you know, the like low ester worthy Park and Martinique. And this kind of is feeling that way. It feels like Martinique softened. Kind of made a little bit more floral. I'm enjoying the nose very much. The pickle is becoming more prominent, which I like. On the palate, Yeah. Louisiana is just a really good place to make rum. Um, if you live in Ohio or something and you like rum, I appreciate you. I like you. Do what you're gonna do. But I'm just gonna say, consider looking at all the other stuff growing around in Ohio. Maybe you can make whiskey. Maybe you can distill soybeans. I still haven't seen a successful soybean distillate. That would be awesome. Lots of soybeans around there. But I mean, this just feels like this feels based. They grow. This is obviously pulled from stuff they were growing around Baton Rouge, and it just comes across that way. It comes across as, like I can taste the land in this. Sorry, I should actually describe what I'm getting. Candied pickles is kind of my main note. So really just like, take some pickles, throw them in a frying pan with some butter, maybe a lot of sugar, and kind of just, candy them up a little bit. Like pickles meets rock candy. Some olive, some a little bit that minerality note again is actually coming out more on the palate than on the nose. There's some rock dust, but also like just chalk dust. Dried flowers, a little dried grass, grapefruit rind. Has a nice acidity to it. I mean, it's not as prominent as on other distilleries that I've had, but very nice indeed. Let me give this one more shot. Yeah, I don't think you would mistake this for something from Martinique. It doesn't have that kind of character. It's a little bit more rounded off, but it's very well made. It's very good. All right. Let's give that a squirt of water. We'll come back to it in a minute. Okay, and on to the second 3-roll. This is the Brazilian style. So the fun aspect of this is that they're using yeast sourced from Brazil. So basically, it's a kind of, I mean, it's not really a cachaça, right? But they're trying to make something in a cachaça style. That sounds fun. Let's see what happens on the nose. And I'm really curious to see how this differs from the Agricole style one. Very similar, actually. So again, there's a pickle note that's very prominent, a floral note that's very prominent, a fennel note that's very... There's more fennel on this, actually. Green olive. Not as fruity. I'm not really getting a lot of citrus, grapefruit, anything like that. It smells a little bit more green, a little bit more vegetal, which I like. I'm always the guy who's like bringing the Chinon or the Bourgogne to a party, and no one else wants to drink it because it smells like smells and tastes like bell peppers and cranberries. And I'm like, what's the problem, guys? This is awesome. Like, I'm that guy, and I enjoy these flavors, but I could understand if someone else is not into this. Maybe a little bit simple, but that's okay. I mean, it's there's the flavors here they smell real. They don't smell. This is not something that a marketer would come up with. Let me put it that way. All right, on the palate. Oh, what is that? There's almost like a sunflower seed kind of note on this. Like, like I just reached into a bag of sunflower seeds and kind of threw them into my mouth and started chewing. There's that kind of note. But then there's some more traditional kinds of agricole notes, the fennel note. A little seawater, a little, still not very citrusy. There's kind of like maybe a lime pith kind of note going on, like the white stuff. You know, a little bit more burned plastic. A little bit more pickle thing going on. A little olive. I mean, it's nice. It's solid, but I'm not totally blown away by this. I think I like the Agricole a little bit more. That it seemed to be delivering a sort of broader range of flavors. Not to say this is bad in any way. None of these are bad. I have not had a bad rum from Louisiana yet. I'm just saying, like, this one is kind of, you know, maybe undershooting a little bit for me. 3. So it kind of gets a similar sort of mark to the Kalio. And lastly, I was actually kind of delighted this one came in last. So this is the Old New Orleans 121 proof Crystal Louisiana rum, 60.5% alcohol. Now the fun thing about these guys is that they are apparently the oldest craft rum distillery still in existence in the U.S. They were founded in 1995, so like, you know, we're coming up on 26 years with these guys. So I'm very excited to try this. No, I don't really have a sense of what the distillery is like, but we'll see. This is the first rum I've had in either of these flights that smells immediately like a molasses-based rum. I'm immediately getting some a little bit of whipped cream, but also some like just chocolate notes. Yeah, milk chocolate. There's some, but some white pepper in there. It's really like Mexican hot chocolate is what I'm kind of smelling right now. But we're gonna throw on top of that some black olives, some fennel, a squirt of seawater. I mean, the alcohol is very nippy on this. A lot of the time, so people tend to look at higher proofs and they always tend to think that the alcohol is going to kind of kick their ass, and it's not really always the case. There's, you know, there's just too many reviews that start out with, you know, drinks at lower proof than I would have thought. That's normal. That often happens. In this case, though, it actually noses something at 60% alcohol, so that's to be noted. Still very nice, though. Little hints of lime on this. Little hints of, you know, again, rocks. Kind of general minerality, which I like. And, you know, throw like 3 dried flowers in there just to give it a little floral touch. Yeah, hand this to me blind, and I'm thinking this is probably, you know, unaged low ester pot distillate from the Caribbean somewhere. That's what I'm thinking. And there's a little bit of like a cotton candy sort of note too. All right, on the palate. Ooh. Very different. Very different from the others. Comes across as more refined. More, oh, what is that? Yeah, more kind of hot chocolatey, but not hot and not. I mean, there's some aspects of this that actually remind me of an espadín, like a mezcal, except it doesn't have the herbaceousness, it doesn't have the smokiness. It's much more pure on the sort of chocolate candied aspect. I like this actually. So I'm a little bit of two minds about this. Okay, so let's get some flavor notes on the table. Lots of black licorice, candied black licorice. So I mean, just not just black licorice, but take your black licorice, again, throw it in a saute pan with some butter and some sugar and some rock candy, and kind of fry all that up, and then kind of put it in your mouth. That's kind of what I'm getting. Little like lemon candies, like old school lemon candies. Orange blossoms. There's a twigginess to this, along with the minerality, that is very special and very, very unique. Oh, what is that? So, I mean, first of all, this feels like it's distilled to a higher strength than some of these others, and some of the others from the previous flight. But in this case, it's not a bad thing. It just kind of gets its own kind of character. Of all these, in fact, this is the one that I would most want to try aged, because it has this fatness to it. This kind of sweet, peppery, gummy fatness that's kind of really impressing me. And I think this would actually do very well in an oak cask for 5 to 10 years. In these two flights, it's not my favorite rum, but I think it might be the best rum, or the rum I would most want to age. Very good actually. All right, I'm going to add a bit of water to this. Wait, did I add water to the last one? I don't think I did. Sorry. It's been a long day. All right. And try to get that proof down. Maybe it'll get more funky after a few squirts of water, but we will see. We will see. It's very clean, but not without character. I mean, something like some of the higher proof. I mean, mezcal, yes, but like tequila as well. That cleanness, the smoothness, where the smoothness is not an aspect describing the lack of quality, where it is a positive quality. There's a silkiness to this Old New Orleans, which I really appreciate. Let's see if that's ready to go. Like half a squirt more. Okay. Let's go back through these now with a squirt of water. Okay. So back to the Atelier Vie, the Calio. It's still very quiet on the nose. Kind of doesn't develop a whole lot, but it's. I mean, the basics of this are quite solid. I'm enjoying this nose. I'm appreciating this nose. I'm appreciating the kind of the mix of sort of candied qualities along with the olives, a little tomato coming through, a little sun-dried tomato. Maybe a little, like one or two grapes as well. But it still remains quite quiet. I was hoping the water would open up a little bit more, but not really so much. And that's okay. Let's see what it does on the palate. Still pretty floral. On the palate, here we go. Ooh. Okay. Okay. What actually comes out is the rocks, the minerals, the dust, the mud. That's kind of righteous. I was expecting this to just get a little bit sweeter, but it hasn't. What's actually come to dominate is a huge minerality to this. Still not hugely complex. There, and there's a peppery note that kind of is mingled with the minerality. Still not hugely complex. Kind of the other stuff I'm getting is just the floral aspect and a little bit of some little black licorice and olive kind of rummy stuff. But I like it. I mean, put a glass down in front of me, and I'm happy. I'm satisfied with this. I mean, there's so many rums around, the same price range, I presume, as these things, and this little Kalio, where you put it down in front of me, and I'm going to start complaining. I'm going to just start complaining about, production and sugar and colorant and how people need to take rum seriously and how the distillate needs to show its character and all these things. In this case, I'm not going to complain. This is pretty darn good. And I do like that mineral note. Pretty solid. I'm going to give this little offering from Atelier Vie, I'm going to give it an 82 plus. And again, I haven't really checked the prices of these, but if it's available at a reasonable price, this is solid stuff. Well done, Louisiana. All right, moving on to our 3-year-olds. All right, back to the Agricole style 3-roll, which was kind of my favorite of the two, but we'll see what happens with water. Again, gets more dusty. There's a little bit more of a kind of pool water thing, like a chlorine water thing, but nice going on. Very kind of plasticky, but bringing in some olives and some citrus at the same time. Some not citrus juice. Again, it's more the peels, the pith, that kind of thing. Not killing me, not blowing me away, but I like the nose. On the palate, very good. Has this fun lime meets plastic, colliding with plastic kind of thing that I like. Lots of minerality, lots of rocks, some floral elements. Little shot of absinthe in there. Yeah, this is good. I think this competes with entry-level stuff from Martinique, from Guadeloupe. I think it's kind of on that level. It's not, crushing it for me, but I'm willing to, again, put a glass in front of me. I am happy with it, and I'm even happier than I was with the first glass. I'm gonna give this an 83 plus. Good. This is good. Hang on. Let me confirm that. Yeah, it's an 83 plus. Well done. Nicely done. None of these are quite reaching some of the heights that we saw in the last video. But, you know, that's okay. Not everything needs to be, you know, astonishing and terroir-driven and perfect and precise. These are all showing pretty well, and I'm happy with that. And Louisiana should be extremely proud of itself for being able to produce spirits of this quality. All right, moving on to the 3-roll Brazilian-Style Rum. Actually kind of shuts down the nose a little bit. I mean, I was complaining a little bit before that the citric elements weren't coming through, but now they are coming through, but that's kind of the only thing coming through. There's like a... Oh, what is that? It's not even like a lemon peel, lemon pith kind of thing. It's almost like... You ever have those little containers of citric acid that you use for like canning or cleaning your espresso machine or something like that? That's kind of what I'm getting. I'm kind of getting like you opened up your citric acid and you kind of nose that. But there's some rocks in there. There's some minerality in there. It's nice. It's not, you know, it's not bad. I don't think it's, you know, in the deep into the realm of good either, but it's not bad. Better on the palate, but still not, you know, filling me with excitement. Some grapefruit coming through now, some white flowers. Yeah, between the two, I'm definitely giving the edge. It's the Agricole style. The Cephas Brazilian yeast is not bad by any means, but yeah, I'm getting some minerality, some mud, which is nice, but it feels a little flatter. It's not. It doesn't feel three-dimensional in the way I would like. This is an 81 point rum, I would say. 81, which it ain't nothing to be ashamed of. There, again, we're coming back to me and just, you know, random rums picked off the shelf of your local liquor store, served in front of me. For the most part, I'm going to be angry and I'm going to rant and pound my fist on the table. This one I'm not. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. I'm just saying, like, I do feel like maybe 3-roll can step it up from here. They've got unrealized potential in this case. And the last one, the Old New Orleans, 121 proof. This one was weird because it was the one that felt the least terroir driven, but at the same time, kind of my favorite of this flight. Yeah, similar. So the minerality comes out in this. There's kind of a rock smoky thing. So I don't know if you can smoke rocks or set rocks on fire, but that's kind of what I'm getting. Along with just like some delightful cane juicy, cane syrupy sweetness, some floral notes. Yeah, I do like this nose. It feels a hair bit anonymous if you were to complain about it. It does, you know, I would love to see Old New Orleans do, you know, some kind of, you know, special editions of, individual patches of cane fields, something like that. Something to give this a little bit more individuality, but the quality is absolutely there. Yeah, the licoricey notes, the candied notes, There's a little bit of a leafy quality to this, which I really like. On the palate, oh, and I would beyond leafy, almost a herbaceous quality. There's not quite a mintiness, more like I don't. I should study up on my herbs and get used to herb aromas. But something about the smells herbal, like you you pull leaves off a tree that would just had that little bit of extra, kind of greenness to them. That's kind of what I'm getting on this. Not full blown herbs, but just kind of a more pronounced herbal greenness, if that makes sense. Okay, maybe there was actually a little bit of fresh mint on the palate in any case. Light, kind of candied, licoricey. Again, the language I'm going to reach for is smooth, but smooth is a positive quality, not indicating the lack of qualities. This is silky. This is silky in my mouth. I feel like my mouth is being caressed by the delicious licoricey, creamy character of this. Little hints of black olive in there. The rocks, the minerality. But really this is dominated by just the sense of creaminess and silkiness. The mouthfeel on this is delightful. It's just so fat. A little white pepper as well. I'm going to give this 85 points. And I think it is the winner of this flight. But I will also add, what I really want to try is like a 10-year-old version of this Old New Orleans. I don't know if they make it, but if they do, I'm going to go down there and see if I can buy it. So yeah, that's the end of the tasting. So what have we got? The Kalio gets an 82 plus. The 3-roll Agricole, 83 plus. 3-roll Brazilian-Style, 81. And an 85 for the Old New Orleans 121 proof. That's, that's pretty solid. It's not as up there with the last flight, but the last flight was just really good. I mean, one of the I was not expecting it to be that good. So, let's put these over here for the moment. Try to conclude the series. So the winners of this whole affair, we got the Old New Orleans 121 proof, the Rouleson overproof, and the 2 sugar fields, and in particular the Assumption sugar field. The Assumption is just a fantastic unaged rum. And if you haven't across it in your travels, I suggest you grab it. It's great. All of these are pretty good. And I am delighted that the U.S. can do something like this. Again, as I mentioned at the end of my last video, I was expecting in these flights to kind of have to end them by saying, see, look, Louisiana's got potential. It's got these hints at greatness. Never unrealized, but maybe one day they'll kind of get there. I don't have to say that because particularly these 4, these are already there. All of these are rated above 85 points, and all of these I would recommend that you go out and grab if you see them around. And that leaves the problem with the rest of us. Like we just, distributors in particular, have to bring these things around. Have to sort of start hauling these things to the big cities at an international level, which so far, at least in Chicago, where I'm based, I'm not seeing. in order to see that, it's up to us, right? It's up to us to sort of bug the distributors and the retailers as well to start carrying things like this. So go out there and start demanding Louisiana rum from your local liquor store. That's kind of all I got. If you enjoyed watching this, please consider donating to the Mutual Aid Response Network, linked below. Thanks for watching. I'm extremely impressed with what Louisiana is already achieving, and I look forward to what they will get at in the future. Thanks for watching, and cheers.